Welcome back to Solo Marvel Champion, where I've got another topic video for you. As always, check the description for more YouTube creators making videos for Marvel Champions. And if you like what you saw here today, please consider a like, sub, and comment to help the channel grow. With that out of the way, let's get to today's topic. So this is my second video in the series of This or That, where I look at an aspect, look at all of their allies in a this or that format. Something I should have said in that first video, which was aggression, that I didn't think I needed to say. This is not about power. This is not about the best ally. This is literally me looking at two allies, and of those two, which one do I prefer? It's about fun, and it's about preference. I don't care about resource efficiency in this evaluation. I don't care about how many, ER a ready is worth in this type of video. This is literally just looking at two allies and saying, I prefer this one over that one. I will do several rounds and get down to my final two and then leave it at that. I don't want to pick between my last two, but I will have two, and then after I've done all of the aspects and basic, and I don't think I'm going to do pool because I haven't played enough pool, but when I do all the aspects plus basic, then I'm going to shuffle them together and do a this and that with them. Again, personal preference, fun in the moment, literally nothing to do with ER or best or most powerful, etc. Let's look at the first two. Wolfsbane is fun. Dazzler is fun. With Wolfsbane, she's really good in Magic because you know what the top of your deck is. So you can, make it so that her response always works. With other heroes, that's not the case. Now, it's still good. Maybe you're playing a hero that you have filled with events, like maybe Gamora. Might be good in Gamora because you know you have a whole lot of events in your deck. So maybe it would be good there. I think Wolfsbane's fine. Dazzler 4 for 2, 2, and 3, and a Confuse is good. But Confuses are way more common in Justice than they are in Aggression. I like Psylocke so much because you don't get a villain Confuse very often in Aggression. Now, this is any enemy. It doesn't have to be the villain. So of these two, even though the cost is higher, I'm going to go with Dazzler. I do like Wolfsbane, though. Next, we get Speed and Monica Chang. So 4, and he can thwart for 4 the turn he comes in. That's actually really, really strong. And that's basically just Quicksilver, isn't he? I mean, he looks like it. It is strange that they had two characters that are basically the same. I don't know the characters for the comics, though, so don't come at me. Of these two, though, Monica Chang is my favorite. After she enters play, search for a surveillance team, put it into play, and then put a snoop counter on each surveillance team. So she has lots of value for 3. I'm going to pick her in this case. Venom and Misty Knight. I honestly have never used either of these. 4 costs on both. 2 thwart, 2, 3 attack, 2 consequential on both. While there is no threat on the main, reduce his consequential by 1. That could be very good. Misty Knight, 1/1. When she thwarts, look at the top 2 of the encounter deck and discard 1. She gets +1 thwart for each icon on it. That would be really good. Of the two, having neither played either, I'm going to pick Misty Knight in this case. Especially good if you're playing Falcon, and I'm pretty sure she came in Falcon's pack. You already know what the top card is, so maybe say, wow, that has 3 icons on it. I don't even care what the next one is. I like Misty Knight. Quake and Feral. I'm already going to say that I love Quake, and that was before I even watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I didn't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. until this year, 2025. But I've loved this Quake ally since I started the game. Since I got it, I think that's Black Widow that she came out in. Feral, after she thwarts, discard the top of your deck for each resource icon discarded this way, deal a damage to the villain. That can be really good too. And again, I think better in Magic just because she knows what the top card of her deck is. Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, and Banshee. 3 cost, 1 to reduce the cost to play her for each confused enemy in play. I think that's super situational. Unless you're playing a super heavy confused deck, I don't know how often you're getting much of a discount on her. I'd say for the most part, you're probably only ever getting a 1 discount on her, which is good. It makes her only cost 2. And then she can attack for 2 twice. That can be very good. Banshee, 2/2/3. After he thwarts, confuse a minion. That's actually kind of an interesting 1-2 punch there. Play Banshee, and then play Spider-Woman for only 2. I don't know. Of these 2, and he's going to get to attack or thwart for 2-3 times, and every time he thwarts, he confuses. I think I'm going to go Banshee here. Next we have Captain Britain and Daredevil. He's 4 for 3/3/3. He takes -1 consequential after he thwarts a side scheme or attacks a minion. So he is better not attacking the villain. Daredevil, 2/2/3. After he thwarts, deal a damage to an enemy. Love me some Daredevil. So I'm going to pick him in this case. Jack Flag and Agent Coulson. I do like Jack Flag. Guardian, 4 for 2/1/3. After he thwarts, place an ammo counter on him. Hero action, exhaust and remove an ammo counter to deal 2 to an enemy. So he just builds up his ammo and you can use him to shoot stuff. Very cool. But again, Agent Coulson is one of my favorite in the game. After he enters play, search deck and discard pile for a preparation, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. So one of my favorite builds is Project Tahiti. It's a Spider-Woman deck that uses Agent Coulson and Rapid Response. So you play him, he finds Rapid Response, you play Rapid Response. You get 2 thwart out of him, and then he defends the villain and gets knocked out. He hits discard, and then Rapid Response says, no, come back into play with 1 damage. And then after he enters play, you get that Rapid Response back to your hand. One of my favorite decks that I've ever built, and he is definitely a part of that, so I am going Coulson. Bishop and Chamber, 4, 2/2/3, 3 cost, 2 thwart, 0 attack, 3. He is a little bit slower if you want him for attacking. After an enemy attacks you, place an energy counter here. When he attacks, remove each energy counter. For each discarded, he gets +2 attack to a maximum of 6. So maybe if you had a lot of minions out there, this would definitely be worth it because the villain attacks you, he gets a counter. 2 minions attack you, he gets 2 more counters. And then next turn, he can attack for 6. And then you can do that twice. He can attack for 6 twice if everything aligns. Very good ally. Chamber I've used in a deck before. 4 cost, 2/2/3. Takes -1 consequential after he attacks a confused enemy. So again, confuses are pretty easy to come by in Justice. Get the villain confused. He can attack the villain all day long and not take consequential damage. This one's actually really tough because I really like both of them. I think because I do enjoy like a Confuse Lock style deck, I'm going to go with Chamber here, but Bishop is really good too. Marvel Girl and Wraith. 3 cost, 2/1/3. When she attacks, remove X threat from the main scheme where X... Oh, let me start over. Interrupt. When she attacks a minion, remove X threat from the main scheme where X is that minion's printed scheme. Now, unless that printed scheme on that minion is 3 or more, I think it's better to just thwart with her. So this one I have used, but I've always felt like she didn't do enough. Wraith, 3/1/3 Guardian. When a boost card is turned face up, deal him a damage and exhaust him and cancel the boost effect. So that cancels the star, which can be really, really critical. So I have used him when I'm playing Thanos because Thanos just has a lot of star effects. But, I mean, he has use in anything. I do like Wraith. I do like both of them. The cost is great. And I think with Wraith, you just don't attack with him. That 3 attack is super enticing, but you have to make the choice. Am I attacking with him for 3 twice, or am I using him to cancel boost effects? In this case, I'm going to take Wraith because I do like canceling some crazy boost effects. Manifold is newish, and Eros. 2/1/2 Avenger Wakanda. After Manifold enters play, choose a player. That player searches their deck and discard pile for a player side scheme and adds it to their hand. In solo, I have played this. It is nice to go get that one player side scheme in your deck, but I feel like you need 2 or 3 to make him more valuable, just because a lot of times, you might play that one you have, and then when he enters your hand, in solo, you can't use his effect. I mean, his effect doesn't do anything. So then you're just paying 3 to thwart 2 twice. But I do like him. Eros, 2 cost, 2/1/2. After you play him from your hand, confuse a minion for each physical you use, or rather each mental you use to pay for him. That would go really well with that Jessica Drew card. Plus, then he can thwart 2 twice. I do like Eros, even if you don't get the confuse, like maybe you had to pay for him with a strength. Even without the confuse, Eros is very good because he gets you 4 thwart for 2 or 3 in ER. Manifold, very, very good in Cable, who has, about 1.5 million player side schemes in his deck. But in this case, I'm going Eros over Manifold. Husk and Spider-Man Paviteer. Absolutely love him in a Web Warrior deck. After he enters play, remove 1 threat from a scheme for each Web Warrior card you control, including him. So he might come in and remove 3, 4, 5, whatever. That can be very powerful, and then he can thwart 1. Husk, 4 cost, 2/2/3. When Husk uses a basic power, spend up to 3 resources. If you spend at least 1 energy, she gets +1 to that power for this use. If you spend mental, she heals 1. If you spend physical, ready her afterwards. So that can be really good, and really, really good in Domino, because Domino has the, jackpot that has 1 of each of these on it. So you can attack with her, spend that card, and do all of these. That would be very, very powerful. But if you have a deck with a lot of wild generators or wild resources like Nova, for example, this would be really good for him as well. I like both of these. The one I've played the most is Paviteer, but I think Husk is a little more versatile because Husk can stick around forever. Can is the operative word. Quasar and Cypher. Definitely played Cypher and gotten some really good value out of him. Quasar is good too, though. 3 cost, 1/2/3. After he enters play, remove a threat from each scheme in play. Now, of course, more schemes in play is better, but he's still really good because after he removes a threat from each scheme in play, even if it's only the main, he can then attack for 2, 3 times. Cypher, 1/1/2. After he attacks and damages a confused enemy, draw 1 card. So you get a couple extra draws with him. If you Voltron him in any way, put anything on him that makes him stronger, you get more value out of him. Of these 2, I like Cypher for the cost. Quasar is better in multiplayer where you may have more schemes in play. I'm going to go with Cypher in this case. Peter Parker Justice. 5 cost, which is a lot, 2/2/4. After you play Spider-Man from your hand, remove 3 per player threat from a side scheme. Now, in solo, it is a lot, but that's going to clear most of the player side schemes we have, barring, say, specialized training. But any of the others, he'll just clear it when he comes in and then can thwart to somewhere else. Lady Spider's very good too. 4 cost, 2/2/4. I'm going to get a sip of coffee real quick. Just getting over a cough, and I felt one coming there. After she thwarts and removes threat from a scheme, if you control another Web Warrior card, remove an equal amount from a different scheme. That is very, very powerful. Now, because I play most of my games solo, Lady Spider has more value for me than Spider-Man. But in a 4-player game, he comes in and removes 12 from specialized training. That's crazy good. And then thwarts 2 more off of it. So he's worth 14 threat removal off of something. That's awesome. But for solo, I'm going with Lady Spider. Wasp and Blindfold. 2 cost, 2 thwart, 1 attack, 3. Play only if you have the champion trait. Wasp ignores guard, patrol, and crisis icons. That can be good. Blindfold, 2 thwart, 0 attack, 2 hit points. After she enters play, look at the top 5 of the encounter deck, discard 1, put the rest back in the same order. Anytime you get some knowledge of the encounter deck, that's really, really good. The only problem I have with Blindfold is I generally forget what order they came out in because I'll pick them up, I'll move them around, say, oh, maybe this one, maybe that one I'll discard, and then I don't know the order to put them back in. That's a fault of me, not the card. So I do like Blindfold. I'm going to go with Blindfold here. 2 lift. Jessica Jones and Whiffin. Jessica Jones, 1, 2, 3. She gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play. Again, very good in multiplayer. Wiccan, 2 cost, 1, 1, 3. After he thwarts, discard the top card of the encounter deck. For each boost icon discarded this way, deal a damage to an enemy. We call Wiccan Whiffin for a reason. He almost always whiffs. Almost every time I've used that ability, he has whiffed. But if you have knowledge of the encounter deck, Blindfold gives you knowledge of the encounter deck. Falcon gives you knowledge of the encounter deck. He can be really, really strong. And then the times when you don't have knowledge of the deck and he still gets you a big boost, that's a fun time. Of these two, again, because I'm mostly solo, I'm going Wiccan. Get another sip here. Go, Pat, go. All right, let me shuffle these. We'll go again. We'll get these down to only 2 cards. Husk and Wiccan. Oh, that's tough, but kind of for the same reasons I just said. I'm going to go Wiccan here. Husk can stick around forever, so you are protecting that investment. But I'm going to go Wiccan. Wraith and Eros. When Wraith is good, he's really good. So we're going to go Wraith. Quake and Banshee, I'm going Quake. I didn't even talk about her ability. You know, after a minion schemes, exhaust Quake, deal 2 damage to that minion. If you're going to play an alter ego strategy, she's invaluable. Daredevil and Chamber, I got to go with my boy. Dazzler and Monica Chang. Got to go Monica Chang there. Misty Knight and Agent Coulson. No contest. Lady Spider and Blindfold. This one is tough because knowledge of the encounter deck is so good. But being able to thwart for 4, basically, 2 off of 2 schemes is very good, too. What I feel in this case Because she's better when you're running other web warriors, she's a little more limited. I don't have to be playing X-Men to get value out of Blindfold, so I'm going to pick Blindfold. I have one left, Cypher. In my last video, I said, well, I can't compare him to anybody, so he just loses. But now I'm just going to put him in the win pile instead. Let's go again. I have a feeling I'm going to end up with 2 shield cards as my final 2. It's not intentional. That's just the way it is looking. Quake and Cypher. Well, there we go. I got to go Quake. Daredevil and Agent Coulson is a really tough choice. You're getting a little more value out of Coulson. Because even if you don't want to play that preparation card, it's a resource in your hand. So I've got to go Coulson. Sorry, Daredevil. Blindfold and Monica Chang. Here's one where I am going to go Blindfold over Shield just because of deck knowledge or encounter card knowledge. Wiccan and Wraith. I think I've got to go Wraith just because I whiff so often with Wiccan. All right, 4 left. I'm coming down to my top 2. We get Wraith and Blindfold. That makes me sad because that means my last 2 are both going to be my shield cards. Canceling boost effects, which can be devastating, or encounter card knowledge. That's a really tough choice. Or attacking for a total of 6. 3 for 6 damage. This is 3 for 4 threat and encounter card knowledge. I've got to go with Blindfold. So then we get Quake and Coulson. Well, I do love Quake. She is way better in a build where you are staying in Alter Ego. Or, you know, Nick Fury and Justice. Quake's going to be very good there too. I just feel like Coulson is more versatile. So I've got to go Coulson there. So this or that narrowed me down to Blindfold and Agent Coulson. Of course, as I said in the beginning, this is not about best or most powerful allies. Given 2, which do I prefer in the moment? And this is what I narrowed them down to. Blindfold, I don't play as much as I should. I've underestimated her ability a couple times and not included her in the deck, but she's very good. I played her in my my Falcon Justice build, and that was a lot of fun. But there it is. That's this or that in Justice with allies. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a marvelous day.